finally here. As Sonic and Tails ride in on the tornado and Sonic goes supersonic, we hit Angel Island, perhaps the most beloved island of all the classic Sonic games. But just like Sonic gets hit and all his emeralds stolen, I'm gonna get hit and get all my knowledge of this game and my previous opinions to say stolen as well. Let's dig into Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Considering that modern Sega is not smart and won't release a port of Sonic 3 on mobile devices a la the Sonic 1 and 2 ports, there is a lot of debate over whether Sonic 3 Complete or Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited is the definitive version of Sonic 3. Honestly, I'm not going to lie right off the bat. I'm just going to tell you, I played Sonic 3 Complete and Air. However, I found that I liked Sonic 3 Complete more. It was more customizable. It was an actual, version, a ROM hack of the Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So all in all, it's the original game with tons of customization options and sound things. And as much as I like Angel Island Revisited, it doesn't offer the amount of content and customization that Complete does. Also, I can't play Angel Island Revisited on my 3DS, which, just in case you guys know, yes, has been the way I've played every single classic Sonic game thus far. I do have it on my phone though, so it's not like I haven't played Angel Island Revisited at all. It's just Sonic 3 Complete is my preferred port. So yeah, let's dig in the actual game itself, because I'm sure I just made someone mad, so let's forget I said that for a second. Angel Island tries to be the Emerald Coast of, I guess Angel Island, but honestly, I can't help but say that it's still a great stage, but Emerald Coast offers much more in terms of speed. Really, I think that individually each of the three games' first stages have tons of different things to offer. Green Hill is all around platforming and speed mixture, and it works quite well for Green Hill. Emerald Coast is focused specifically on speed, and Angel Island is focused specifically on pathways. It's much more exploration focused, to maybe the level of Sonic CD, but not quite as well done as Sonic CD's exploration was, which is okay, because Sonic CD's exploration took from Sonic CD's speed. You get where this is becoming a problem? Sonic 3 has a lot to live up to, with each of the previous games having their own theme and gameplay components. With 3 different main games and 3 different main focuses, Sonic 3 should have a hard time measuring up to them, right? Well, not really, because Sonic 3, as much as this sucks to say, doesn't have its own individual focus. And I'll explain to you why. Sonic 3's focus is on making sure that every level has a perfect mixture of exploration, speed, and platforming. As much as there's differences in playing, say, Hydro City and, Marble Garden, they're all the same in terms that this level has the exact same amount of exploration, platforming, and speed segments. Sonic 2 was much more focused on speed, Sonic 1 platforming, and Sonic CD on exploration. And that may be why I'm drawn to Sonic 2 over CD and 1, just because of its individual focus. Sonic 3 appeases all 3 focuses, but doesn't do one extremely too well, It's not great platforming speed, but it's all very good. But I feel like its desire to focus on making sure that all 3 were even made sure that none of them were particularly great. I'm sure I just made more people mad, but trust me, people will only get more mad. All in all, Angel Island is still a great starting point, because it focuses on speed, platforming, and exploration, which is what makes a Sonic zone. It's just the pathways aren't too eventful, and there's never a segment where you get to speed too much, and you aren't really platforming that much. It really is sad, but hey, we still have plenty of other zones to talk about, 14 in total, right? One more thing I want to touch on before we move on to the other zones is the new abilities, per se. Knuckles has an entirely new side campaign, which we'll talk about later, and Tails is now a playable character too, but with much more differences. meaning that he really is a playable character this time and not just a Sonic clone. Also, there's the new Insta Shield, which essentially is super cool. It helps Sonic beat bosses easier, and it's a perfect way to control Sonic. I honestly can't go back to the older games, mainly 1 and CD, without the Insta Shield. And thankfully, now with the mobile ports, I can use the Insta Shield in those games. Haha, get it? It was a way for me to say that the mobile ports were good. Do you guys get it? I mean, Hydro City is much larger than Angel Island, but yet isn't quite as big as the maze-like Sonic CD zones. However, there's my favorite thing about Hydro City. It's a water level, which you're in the water, and it's not horrible. Yeah, I didn't know it was possible either. I didn't know they could make a good water level where you're forced to be in the water, but Hydro City did it. And there's 3 things that make it the perfect water level. 1, you're still not forced to be in the water. And 2, well, my friend, the water level design doesn't suck. The stage layout and enemy placement is not horrible, meaning that, theoretically speaking, there can be a good water level. And would you guess what? Hydro City managed to do it. Hydro City is like that one fallen hero that no one talks about anymore, but it's still consistently the best water stage in Sonic history. Maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself, but that's just my honest opinion. So yeah, to break it down for you, those are the main 2 types of level designs that we'll see throughout this entire game. Shorter and more simplistic stages like Angel Island, and bigger, more elaborate zones like Hydro City. And neither design is inherently better than the other. It's just that one of these designs has a harder time living up to Hydro City. Oh crap, I didn't mean to spoil it. So, in conclusion, Hydro City may or may not be, probably not, but definitely close to being my favorite stage from this game. There's just something about it that's so beautiful. It's honestly so good, guys. The level designers deserve much more than a pat on the back for this one. It's structurally similar to Chemical Plant, which I think works in its favor because Chemical Plant was my second favorite zone from the last game. So, all in all, I can't help but love Hydro City. But, yeah, the next stage would try to emulate Hydro City and would fail horribly and end up being the worst stage in the entire game. And I'm sure you guys can guess what stage that is. I'm gonna be real with you all. This is my Mystic Cave zone. If you all watched the last video, you know what that means. This is not only my least favorite zone from this game, but one of, if not my least favorite classic Sonic zone. Sure, Mystic Caves is bad, especially in the context of Sonic 2, but holy crap, this easily beats it out for the worst zone. I seriously have very little, if any, fun with this zone. The enemy placement and obstacle placement is absolutely horrendous. Special, level mechanics like this floaty thingy that you have to run on aren't fun at all, and don't add anything to the level. There's barely any insta-shield, so whenever you get one, you have to make sure you hold on to it because you're not going to get it back. But I can say that just like Mystic Caves, if you've already got Super Sonic, then this level's problems are easily solved. After all, Super Sonic plays just like he did in Sonic 2. He has invincibility consistently, he's faster, jumps higher, he has a bigger hitbox, so it's easier to collect things, and since you're invincible anyways, it's not like it'll affect you. Overall, Super Sonic is the definitive way to play in this game. Or is he? Where do we go from Super Sonic? Can something even get more super than super? We'll talk about that later. Anyways, all in all, Marble Garden sucks. If you have a Super Sonic, then it's kind of playable, but if you don't, then it's an absolutely horrible zone that slows the pace to a crawl. If you're looking for a new playthrough, don't let Marble Garden turn you off. There is light beyond the tunnel. It just kind of sucks that you start with 2 of the best stages in the game, and then have to deal with the worst. Can you save it for a little later in the run so that you're more prepared to deal with it? In fact, as you can see here, you can literally clip out of the zone and skip it almost entirely. People are so done with this zone that they learned how to clip out of it and skip it in record times. Holy crap. All in all, if you don't like Marble Garden, then learn this speedrunning trick so you don't have to play it at all. That's all I gotta say about this stage, because I can't get anything more than I hate you. Haha. So, I'm sorry if I'm coming off as more playful and not caring in this video, because I just feel like until we hit a little later, I don't have much to say about Sonic 3's opening. The first few stages are pretty good, and nothing more than that. Except for Marble Garden, I hate that zone. Casino Night isn't far off, but we'll talk about that later. And, yeah. It's crazy to me just how little I have to say about this game's opening when I have so much to say about the later zones. Anyways, let's talk Carnival Night. Carnival Night is not bad, but it's lacking in many ways. Coming off Marble Garden, it's a godsend and a fun stage. However, it's still not the best. My main problem is that it doesn't stack up to Casino Night, the Sonic 2 Casino stage, and the names are way too close. In fact, I messed it up earlier, I think. Who thought that was a good idea anyways? Casino Night was fun to play in and had all these different ways to move and you're always being bumped around. Carnival Night toned this down with the expectation that it would mean you could go faster. However, due to how the level obstacles are used, it ensures you can't go top speed. What do I mean? Well, the bumpers and other springs that do shoot you around aren't used as well, and I found them to actually slow me down instead of speed me up. This seems to be this zone's main gimmick, seeing how Sonic's halted momentum can work for platforming. Act 2 starts with a water segment for some reason, and the barrels in this level almost made me quit my first playthrough. Not everything in Carnival Night is bad. I like the balloons and the speed you can build up on them, and I like the general platforming of the stage. I think it's alright, and for a little bit of Act 1, focusing on halting Sonic's momentum and making him go slow worked, just not for an entire zone, especially one that, in the past setup, it's supposed to be fast. Now, I want to make it clear that I personally prefer Casino Night to Carnival Night, but if there's one thing all Sonic 3 zones beat every previous Sonic zone at, it's looks and sound. Oh my god. Sonic looks and sounds his best in this game. Sonic 3's OST has heavy connections to Michael Jackson, which is why it sounds so darn good. Every track in this game is an absolute hit, and it never stops coming. While nowhere near the level of 3D Blast and maybe the adventure games, Sonic 3's soundtrack is great. Oh yeah, and it looks great. While Sonic 2 and CD used altered, more advanced versions of Sonic 1's sprite and animation, Sonic 3 completely starts from scratch. And it's alright, but overrated. Always felt that Sonic 2's sprite was better than 3's overall, but 3 had more personality. The zones have more sprites and details than ever before, and the backdrops are more elaborate and detailed. Sorry if I went on a rant about graphics and sound, but this is all important to know when going into Flying Battery. So, after the cannon in Carnival Night shoots Sonic onto Flying Battery, the way it was supposed to be, Sonic and Tails travel through the ship and defeat Batniks. This is just one of Eggman's ships, but we saw earlier in Angel Island Zone, so we have a bit of history with the thing. But how does the actual stage play, you ask? Well, Flying Battery is a more linear stage focused on platforming. There are a lot of hazards like Carnival Night, but they're better developed than Carnival Night. There are segments on the bottom of the ship that play out like Wing Fortress Zone from Sonic 2, where you have to time your jump right and make it, or else you'll fall to your death. I would say it's a great stage, with my only main issue being the spinning cylinders. These things have strange hitboxes sometimes, and you can't jump on top of them. You have to either enter them from the opening on either side, and if you miss your jump, you'll fall right through them, and oftentimes die. The amount of electric shields in this level help with some of the level obstacles due to the double jump, and here's where I talk about shields. The fire shield gives you a dash in the air with immunity to fire, the lightning shield gives you a double jump with ring attraction and immunity to electrical hazards, and the bubble shield lets you bounce on the ground for extra height as well as breathe underwater. Hydro City and Carnival Night have the bubble shield, Flying Battery and Death Egg have the electric shield, Lava Reef has the fire shield. Every stage has a main shield, and it's often harder to find than the other shields. I have no problem finding a fire shield in Carnival Night, but it's much harder to find a bubble shield. And notice how the word shield is used. You always get an extra hit without losing your rings no matter what, and that's the best thing about them. Sonic 3's shields promote exploration without ruining by focusing too much on it, which was my main problem with Sonic CD. Sonic CD focused on exploration, but didn't give you much incentive to actually explore other than the time stones. Ice Cap is my favorite stage in this game, and maybe even my favorite of all the 2D Sonic games. As much as I like Chemical Plant and Hilltop, Ice Cap is not only beautiful, but plays amazingly well. I haven't talked about the stage transitions yet, but this one nails it. It starts with a skateboarding segment mirroring City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2, but it's so cool, and as the best track in the game kicks in, and you dash through a cave with claustrophobic platforming and long vertical segments, Ice Cap is just a great stage, my only main problem with it being it doesn't last that long. But Launch Base is a decent zone, but far too annoying, and it's very large. Act 1 was okay enough, but Act 2 is just annoying. The platforming is tedious, and the stage really is the last "should I turn this off" stage. And that's a shame. The boss in Act 2 may be a joke with the insta-shield, but the transition to the Big Arm boss fight is super cool, and the Big Arm fight itself was cool. It was a fun fight, but just not a good final boss by any means. And that's Launch Base, a big fine zone, and that's the first half of Sonic 3. Big Arm! Sonic & Knuckles is a fine game, too incomplete without the lock-on to really be a good game by itself, but added some interesting things to the table, such as the Knuckles campaign. While you can play as Tails and Knuckles in Sonic 2, Knuckles has his own campaign that's different from Sonic's, and Tails controls different enough to be a pseudo-easy mode, while Knuckles is the pseudo-hard mode. These are loose explanations of the campaigns themselves, of course, but Tails' flight makes it easier to find secrets and defeat bosses. Knuckles doesn't jump as high as Sonic or Tails, but his glide can help make up distance lost with the jump height nerf, but the bosses are harder with him, and Eggman has been replaced with Egg Robo. Anyways, back to the levels themselves. This is part 2 of the Sonic 3 retrospective, the Sonic & Knuckles half. While Mushroom Valley is a good first stage, it's nowhere near the level of Angel Island or Emerald Hill. I find that it focuses on platforming more than it does on being big and fast. That being said, Act 1 is big enough and there are plenty of speed segments. These rope things that extend as you run on them are fun, and jumping on these mushrooms are a fun way to bounce up. This level is what later Sonic 3 levels like Carnival Night and Launch Base lack, but what other levels like Ice Cap and Hydro City have that make them so great. It's a perfect in-between, I always enjoy the 6 minutes I spend in it. And here I am with another tangent again. I usually only spend 2 to 5 minutes in Sonic 2 zones at max. Some zones like Launch Base and Sandopolis take like 15 minutes overall to beat, and that's fine. Like in Sandopolis, I just want it to be over because it takes so long. That means I get to soak in more of the stage. It's conflicting, and really I don't have a conclusive opinion on this. Levels just take a lot longer, and that's fine, I guess. Speaking of Sandopolis, it's close to being my least favorite zone in this game. Only Marble Garden beats it. Act 1 is okay, the desert theme is cool and there's not much to it, just speeding through desert and occasionally entering a cave to grab a ring box or something. The crushing blocks are annoying, I don't really think anything of them though. Act 1 introduces some interesting level gimmicks like the sand that Act 2 completely murders. Act 2 is worse than both Marble Garden acts, and it's only really Act 1 that kinda redeems Sandopolis. Act 2 is the longest act in the game, and it's very annoying. These ghosts that chase you are a very annoying level gimmick, and everything that Act 1 introduces is thrown away and replaced with things like sand loops. This thing sucks. I always have a problem with it, and it's not the only wrong thing here. The platforming is heavy, but so cramped that it's annoying. Sure, Ice Cap has a loop too, but it's easier to figure out and it's smaller. Lava Reef is fun. It's really where the game kicks up and things get intense. But there's not a lot going for it until the end of Act 2. The platforming is fun, and there's these spinning loop thingies that are annoying but manageable, and the Act 1 mini-boss is fine. But climbing up the long stretch of stairs and learning that this is the inside of the volcano that the Death Egg crashed in when it tried to launch, and Knuckles knocking you down, it all leads into an okay boss. I know, anticlimactic, but the boss itself is just okay. You gotta jump on these platforms, dodge the bombs and lava, unless you have the fire shield, and wait for the robot to explode. I mean, it's a fine boss, but the lead up is something special that I feel is wasted here. Lava Reef is the last normal zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and just like with Metropolis Zone, it all leads into one act zones for the story, aside from Death Egg. Sonic 2 is much more thematic, whereas Sonic 3 actually has story. In Sonic 2, it's just stop Eggman from kidnapping animals in the Chaos Emeralds. In Sonic 3, he's tricked Knuckles into thinking Sonic and Tails are evil, and drained the power of the Super Emeralds. Before we get on to the endgame of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I want to talk Blue Spears, the best classic Sonic special stages. Sonic 2's was better than Sonic 1's, Sonic CD's was fun but frustrating, and Sonic 3's is good but too extreme. The later blue spear stages get way too unfun, but for the first half of them, they're pretty fun and easy. I always get all Chaos Emeralds and Super Emeralds in my playthroughs because you could still get all Chaos Emeralds by the end of Hydra City Act 1, and all the Super Emeralds by the end of Sandopolis Act 1. The stage entrances are actually hidden now, and don't require a certain amount of rings to enter, unlike Sonic 2's. Sonic 1's just sucked. Still though, I found the Sonic and Knuckles special stages were way worse than base Sonic 3's, and they can get boring and predictable. But as one of the last times Sonic would have good special stages, I think they're good here. The end game starts with Hidden Palace. It's an easy stage and it's incredibly simple, but it's all building up to a fight with Knuckles. This is incredibly tense, and I found the fight with Knuckles to be too simple but incredibly fun. In the background is a painting showing Super Sonic fighting what looks to be the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2. After beating Knuckles, Eggman decides Knuckles is too weak and steals the Master Emerald for himself, leading Knuckles to teleport you to Sky Sanctuary Zone. Whereas Hidden Palace was too simple to be a good stage in terms of the actual gameplay, Sky Sanctuary manages to be a great stage in terms of story and gameplay. The song bops and is very climactic. The way the beat rises and the song gets louder is very thematic, and the stage is designed with the song in mind. Just like the beat, Sonic is rising and rising up the Sky Sanctuary and occasionally fighting Egg Robo. You fight Mecha Sonic, taking the role of Eggman for a bit. You fight the Machine Eggman using Green Hill from Sonic 1, and then the Machine from Metropolis Zone in Sonic 2. It's a neat throwback and makes sense in the confines of the story. It would make sense Eggman would only give Mecha Sonic old Machine Sonic already beat while he flees to the Death Egg. The platforming in this stage is fun, and the platforming between the foreground and background is cool. And I don't know why more stages didn't use it. Just like with Hidden Palace, Sky Sanctuary is only one act, but it ends like this. And some people say Sonic 3 doesn't have a good story. With Sonic now on the Death Egg, everything clicks and we have to find Eggman. This is the best way to handle hard platforming, and it's the best stage in Sonic and Knuckles. Not Sonic 3 Knuckles, just Sonic and Knuckles. Makes sense? Act 1 takes place in the inside of the Death Egg, and we're chasing down Eggman. The place is heavily guarded and there are tons of traps everywhere. The light bridges are annoying, but the gravity mechanic is a fun mechanic that is well used. After searching the outside of the Death Egg, Act 2 follows a search outside of it. We can see Earth, or planet Sonic is on in the background, and everything is getting more tense. We catch up to Eggman on a bridge and face down his last attack. This boss is one of the best in the game, using the gravity mechanic well and testing your knowledge of the zone. After that, we chase Eggman as he hops into an advanced version of the Death Egg robot. This boss is just great. After everything that Sonic has been through, this game and the previous games, this is the final showdown between Sonic and Eggman. The first phase is annoying but quick. You have to destroy the fingers on the robot, and if you're not careful, they'll slam down on you. After you take care of the hands, the Eggbot enters its second phase, marching towards you and shooting fire out of its nose. If Sonic hits the nose, the mouth opens and begins charging a Chaos Control Beam. Attack the mouth and dodge the beam at the last second, and you'll have to do that 2 or 3 times. This is a much better boss than the Eggbot in Sonic 2, which had bad hitboxes and an annoying moveset. I hate that boss, but I love this one. After destroying the robot, Eggman tries to flee with the Master Emerald as the Death Egg falls apart. Sonic chases after him, and this section is kinda annoying. Sonic's physics don't miss well with the big bridge collapsing, but if you're careful, you'll destroy the carrier, and Eggman will flee on the final weapon. So that's it, right? Sonic crashes down to Earth, Master Emerald's still in space, wait till Sonic Adventure to recover, right? Well, the true final boss of this game takes place in Doomsday Zone. If you've got all the Chaos Emeralds or Super Emeralds, you'll transform and chase Eggman. Doomsday Zone is a good ending to the overall package, but the boss isn't as good. The first phase sees you travel an asteroid belt, stocking up on rings and then attacking the final weapon. This segment is cheap. You're supposed to direct missiles to the cockpit without being hit by anything. If you're hit at all, you're sent behind the final weapon and lose some of your rings. I managed to beat it on my first try, but then died right away due to having too little rings. After destroying the final weapons outside, the inside flies into another asteroid belt with Hypersonic right behind it. Phase 2 is much better because you get to keep collecting rings while facing the final weapon. Slam into it again and again, finally destroying it. Hypersonic recovers the Master Emerald and returns it to Angel Island, allowing it to float back into the sky. Knuckles is left smiling as Sonic and Tails fly away on the tornado. Sonic 3, stronger beginning and end game, but due to the drop of quality in the middle, I think Sonic 2 is still the better platformer. While Sonic 3 is bigger and fixes most of Sonic 2's problems, it also has new problems that make the actual gameplay of the game lesser than Sonic 2's. Sonic 3's story is the best of any classic Sonic game. I would never rob it of that, but Sonic 2 had much tighter platforming. Whereas Sonic 2 focused on gameplay, Sonic 3 focuses more on story, giving each game their own unique identity. As strange as it is, I've come back to Sonic 3 more than 2, but I always have a better time with 2. Who knows, maybe this is my favorite, but I feel the drop in the middle and the length of the game holds me back from saying it's better than 2. As it is, I still love 3 and it's still one of the best games of all time. Next, we'll take a look at Sonic's first 3D adventure, Sonic 3D Blast. Until next time.